the Northwest is no stranger to winter, and your electric utilities prepare for this season. It is a peak season in much of the Northwest. It's the time when the demand is highest and when the resources can be most constrained. So winter is serious business, and we know the utilities there are preparing to operate for that. There's some big trends happening across North America, though, and really the Northwest is in the crosshairs of this as demand is growing and our resource mix, those things that supply electricity, they're changing. Across North America, we've seen demand increasing by over 20 gigawatts. That's a lot of That's a lot of energy need. It's 2.5% a year over year change in peak demand. And a lot of this is driven by data centers and large industrial loads. But data centers can come onto the system relatively quickly. And that's what's leading to kind of bigger demand growth, really the largest kind of demand growth we've seen in decades. The other trend is our resource mixes is changing. Traditional thermal generators, which are powered by coal and gas-fired generation, are aging, and for a variety of reasons, many of them are retiring. There's some of that happening in the Northwest. And the new resources that are most progressed through the new development queues and starting to connect to the grid are more variable in nature, and they don't perform as well in the winter. It's wind power and solar resources. They'll help meet those demands that are rising in the summertime, but in the wintertime, what we see is that the reserves that the grid operator has to work with are shrinking. On the positive side, the Northwest is blessed to have a lot of hydropower, although we find ourselves in drought conditions that can limit hydro output. Your projections for the winter are good. But we're all in all, the operators are having a tighter reserves. And what can happen is when the extreme cold weather, the big cold snaps that extend over large areas, those can affect the performance of the generators that are out there, can make it harder to get imports when you need extra supplies. And what we found is that at the Northwest, there are conditions where you may be insufficient on supplies, and that can lead to some operator actions to try to control demand by asking for conservation and doing actions that will help them get extra resources to maintain the balance.